Hello everybody. I know it's been a month since I last posted. Apologies for my absence. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to finally be doing a review on the Minibrass Titanic hull rivet plating detailed set. So this arrived a few days ago in my mail and I didn't really expect it to come that quick. And here it is. So it comes in this really lovely packaged cardboard sort of, I like to call it a case, but it's not really a case, but it's really well maintained and it's really well, kept in its, format. So that's pretty good. Obviously when it comes to packaging like this, it's better for the, packaging to have all these kind of thick, strong, materials so that nothing gets, in the way, like water, or it gets damaged by other bulky items or anything. So yeah, so enough of me chit-chatting away. I'm going to show you what comes in this wonderful, what do I call it, a set or a kit? It's more like a other, part for the model. It does come with a small little receipt to show what I had purchased. Altogether, it had cost me $386.40, and that is AUD, so it's the 200 hull plating. So I believe it has 4 sheets. What I really also do appreciate is it has like this paper that sort of helps, keep everything, not touching, so that, no damage is caused to the brass pieces. And this is sheet 2, and you can really see just how, oh, you can see me in the camera. I mean, not the camera, it's like a reflection. Oh, that's a bit awkward. But you can really see just the detailing, like it's completely out of this world. And you have all of these parts, which to me, if you are a Titanic fan, you will instantly know what those are. This is just more, I believe this goes on the, I think this is it B deck and C deck? Yeah. This goes right on the part where the well deck is on the bow. It's a little bit bent there. That's why you got to be very careful. So many rivets. But I really wanted to, I'm going to build a model of the Titanic. I really wanted to make it as accurate as possible. So, yeah. We've got all these other sheets. Now, it is recommended to sand these down and to use sort of I wouldn't say alcohol, but something that can, wipe away any of the residue, because there is a bit of some residue on the surface of the brass sheets, especially here, as you can see. You don't want to then go over it with, your primer or your paints, and then it just has like all this blotchy sort of, yeah, you don't want that. So it is recommended to wash these, and I will also be sanding them down so that they are, much more capable of sticking together, and it's just, yeah. Just look at the detailing. And if you are wanting these types of, details, especially to this extent, you're better off purchasing something like this. And you've got like the portholes, which, yeah, again, I'm also very excited about, finally having accurate portholes on both the superstructure and the hull. Oh, so there's 3 parts. Okay. And this is the last piece. It's like a mirror. It's like a mirror. You got the gangway doors. And then any of these parts here will be placed sort of where it has like, you know, as you can see, it has like those, you know, invisible sort of lines there. And this will go behind, I believe, these ones here, to sort of give that illusion of that, you know, classic white star line, you know, porthole. Just again, I want to show you how detailed this is. So I already have all the, you know, essential, you know, equipment and, you know, products and, you know, residues and glues that I'm gonna, all of that. I've got everything that I need to make sure this, you know, turns out perfectly, because here's the thing, when you spend $300 on something, you want it to work. You don't want to then, yeah, I'm not going to think anything like that. But, you know, like always, you have to be very careful when it comes to, especially very fine brush sheets like this. And I can appreciate them having like a second sort of sheet to support like the back of it, you know, just to make it more sturdy and strong. And also with all of this, the sheets that I have from Woody's model workshop will also go perfectly, because it will align, and, you know, with the superstructure, it will just, you know, fit perfectly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I will actually show you more of a close-up now. Yeah, like this is incredible. Like you will not be able, if you can do this yourself, I give you a round of applause. I don't have the patience. But yeah, this is incredible. I mean, look at that. Like that is exceptionally detailed. Like you could not get this in any other model kit for a Titanic, like, you know, kit at all. Trumpeter did okay, but there's just a lot of inaccurate sort of qualities in their model that I'm just like not a fan of. You can actually see this part on the wreck still. It's very, you know, slightly unrecognizable, but then you can also sort of tell whereabouts it would have been on the ship. So it's like a mixture, it's like a combination of it being recognizable and then it not being recognizable. So yeah. So this is a port side. This is sheet 3. And starboard side, which is sheet 2. And sheet 1 is this one, which is sort of the center middle parts of the hull. So I've got a lot to get through, but again, I need to be very cautious and very careful when it comes to spraying these, because I don't want the paint to be very thick and full. And yeah, so there are instructions that you can use for this model, which I will be putting in the link if I can, but if not, you can join the Facebook group or go onto the website, and then I believe it will have like an attachment for the instructions for this exact model, you know, set. So yeah, thank you again. I do apologize for not keeping track of uploading on a daily basis. Obviously I don't, you know, expect myself to do that, but I will upload and post when I can. I've just got a lot going on. Next month will be a very busy month for me because, like I've said in previous videos, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with work and, you know, with life getting in the way. My main goal is also just trying to find a career pathway for myself that I can actually earn enough money. And, you know, yeah, because the thing with me, I don't want to get into it now, but I've just been sort of on a loop of trying to, you know, find things that I'm good at and qualities that, you know, I can potentially work on. It's a bit of a random thing I'm saying, but, you know, if you are someone who is like me, just don't give up. Because one thing's for sure, I was always one to give up on something, but I'm, you know, picking up the pieces and, you know, just trying to do what I can so that I can have, you know, a successful, you know, bright future. So yeah, anyways, I highly recommend checking this out. You know, their website has got so many different types of, you know, external parts for, you know, interior, outer parts for, you know, models of ships, and especially if you're someone who's building the Titanic, they've got everything you need. And if you are someone who is really wanting that high detail, especially when it comes to the hull shell plating and the riveting, this is the one to get. So yeah, anyways, that's enough with me chatting. Next video will probably be when I finally start installing everything and the building of this model will finally begin. I know it's taken me a while because obviously I was waiting for this last part to arrive, and finally it has, so I can now, you know, finally get all of this sorted. But also, if I do land that job that I'm looking for, I don't know how and when I'll have the time to build. But if I am hopefully successful in a job that I'm praying that I get, you know, I obviously will be working on my feet 24 hours, 7 days, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up on this. So it will be actually better because then I can actually work on this in my own pace. And yeah, so thank you again. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this, you know, share your opinions down below. I always like to receive any sort of feedback, whether you think I'm chit-chatting too much, which I do. Yeah, I do appreciate it. And thank you for, you know, the 108 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but it does mean a lot to me that, you know, people have come and discovered my page and they're, you know, curious to maybe know what my model will look like. So yeah, you can only do your best, that's all I say. So thank you so much again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks.